You know, this guy had to be a super, I think I described him as a yahoo in order to pull this off on their own. You know, somebody had to know something was going on or he had assistance in some form or fashion. But the investigation up till now has proved different. As far as we can tell, he's a lone actor acting on his own and planned this meticulously, you know, with purpose.
Within 24, 36 hours, you knew a heck of a lot about this guy, had put it together. What's sort of the state of the art of what you've learned since then?
He was, I believe it was described as vanilla in some of the newscasts, but I could use that word vanilla with him because he wasn't on our radar. He wasn't on the federal database radar. He wasn't on our local radar. He wasn't even in our criminal radar. My understanding, he had 2 previous traffic citations. He had some various jobs, lived in various places, but he became a prolific gambler. And then over time, he's gone up and down in his wealth associated with gambling and real estate and everything else that he chose to do. But, you know, since 2015, September of 2015, he's lost a significant amount of wealth. And I think that might have a determining factor on what he determined to do. I think it's just because he was just working in the shadows and nondescript, wasn't out in front of the spotlight.
And the FBI profilers are the best in the business. Can you share anything about their insights into what made him tick?
Obviously, they're still going through it, through interviews with the family members and Mary Lou Danley and other people associated with this individual's life. But it was, he had a narcissistic personality, determined also he was going through currently probably some bouts of depression. But he was status driven. This individual was status driven based on how he liked to be recognized in the casino environment and how he liked to be recognized by his friends and family. So obviously that was starting to decline.
The girlfriend, in general, do you believe her account of things, that she had no idea this is coming, that he sent her away, she thought he was breaking up with her, sent her a bunch of money, that she had no inkling that this was coming?
You know, in general, from what I'm being told from the investigators, that assessment is accurate. But personally, it's hard for me to believe. It's hard for me to believe that an individual, I think my last count was 48 or 49 weapons, would be amassing an armory such as that with some sort of evil intent on the end. There's a lot of people that have hundreds and hundreds of guns, but for this individual to do it at a certain point in time and to do it all with such robust action, you would think that Miss Danley would have some information associated with that. But currently, we haven't been able to pull that out of her as we interview the family even further and further. But none of it rises to the level of going up in a hotel room and shooting at thousands of people, hoping to create, you know, as much carnage as you possibly can. None of that rises to that.
You've said in news conferences that something seems to have set him off in October of 2016, because that's when he accumulated even more guns. What do you think it was?
I don't know. You know, we're going through, we're doing an autopsy, obviously, on the pathology on his brain. You know, the coroner is in the process of having that completed, which takes some time. So we don't know if he had a mental defect that caused him to all of a sudden change the way he was going to conduct himself or what he was going to do into the future that we all know about. But there had to be some trigger point. And you're right, he started purchasing weapons in a short period of time and a large number of weapons. The fact that you have a psychotic individual, a crazed individual in possession of a high capacity firearm shooting into a crowd, it's fairly simple. So, you know, and the one thing about that mindset that we talked about, George, was it was very easy for this individual to disassociate from their victims because of the distance. He's not looking at somebody in the eye. He's not seeing the damage that he's causing because it's so far away. So he's just randomly shooting into a crowd, causing this carnage.